Hi there, Renee H.J. Jurgensen from Coinlands. I'm here again with the final step 7 in how to become successful in your crypto investing. And that final step is called your exit strategy. Your exit strategy is really coming back to your the first step, which is your risk tolerance, and then your goal, which then becomes your strategy. And part of that strategy also, of course, your investment strategy is also what do you want to do with the money? Why do you want these gains, right? So again, are you investing? Are you older? You're investing for retirement. You're more conservative. You're leaving something for your kids, grandkids. Or are you younger? This is what you want to. You want to retire early. You want to, buy a yard. Whatever is your goal. That then becomes your exit strategy, right? So here, actually, we have to start with actually understanding taxes. And obviously, I'm an investment advisor, consultant here. I'm not really a tax expert. So you need to look at where you're living. In most countries, they will only tax you when you sell, but things are changing. If you're in the US, you'll see that your tax return, I think they start in 22, 21, 22, it now has a line. It's called digital assets, and you're asked if you have sold or received any crypto during the year, and you now have to declare it, right? And in the US, they can be strict, right? So it can be criminal if you lie here, right? So you do want to consult a tax expert to get the right advice on what to do here. But again, and they're actually now, Canada, Europe, you're only taxed when you sell it. So you can hold it, you can swap it. So you can swap one coin for another coin, and it's not a taxable event. But that's actually also changing. There are news released that the IRS in the U.S. That they want to tax you when you swap a coin, right? Because that would be equivalent to a currency exchange, basically, right? But that's in other countries you can swap, hold it. You can even hold it in stable coin without selling it. It doesn't become a taxable event. But once you get to the taxable event, this is your exit strategy. Once you're selling it and you're putting it into cash, now this is when you need to seek help from an accountant, and this is when you need to think about what are you going to do with this, right? And I definitely think this comes back again to your goal. What do you want? What do you want with it? So personally, my personal investments are focused on asset protection, and that actually has very personal reasons. I had a bricks and mortar business, a designer furniture franchise that was we got into COVID, and so in Ontario, Canada, we had 3 forced lockdowns. The government told me to close down my business for about a month and a half, 3 times. So COVID was pretty intense, you could say. I thought I had everything under control. The business went smooth. Then out of nowhere comes a pandemic, and the government says, we're demanding you close down your business. And I'm like, what? Is this even possible, right? So once you've been in that situation and you literally have all your eggs in one basket, you realize, okay, not only do I need to diversify, gold, cash, everything, but I also need to think about how do I protect my assets in the future, right? Because this is not just COVID, black swan event, COVID. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time, but anything can happen. You can be sued. Somebody will, if you're a medical practice or something, you can be sued for malpractice. You can be sued for all kinds of reasons, especially in the US, right? So you really need to think about how can I protect my assets if I get in trouble. It might also be your ex-wife. You might get a divorce, right? And then does she get half or more, right? I mean, this is really up to you. You really have to figure about how to protect your assets. And this is what I really believe that crypto is really good for. I personally, if you have a second passport, you can actually set up accounts in that country. I recommend Europe. I still have a European passport. I have a Danish passport. And in Europe, they have something called Revolut, which is a neobank. It's really great for crypto investing. It has some of the similar coins as Coinbase in the US. Not as many, but it still has some of the good coins. And then you can transfer everything into cash. You can invest in stocks. You can use it as a bank, and you can have a credit card, right? So there are different ways you can put money aside. You can also choose to go offshore, which is very popular. I mean, if you are into the multi-millions in gains, or even some people are in the billions and they are now in Dubai. They have a tax-free zone. You can set up a business and you can keep your crypto in that business, which is actually also something you can do in the US. You can set up a privacy LLC in Wyoming. You can actually keep the owners private. You might have to disclose to the government, but it's not something that a regular or a lawyer or a creditor, somebody wants to sue you, can find out. So you can actually protect your holdings that way. So it's possible both offshore, but also at home as well. Also, so if you want to use Europe, you can use other countries for tax havens. But for instance, in Portugal, I have their connection with a bank called Bison Bank. What they do is they will receive your Bitcoin and Ethereum into an account, and then you can just exchange everything straight into cash, and then they keep your cash. You can have a card there again, but you can also choose to buy real estate. This is a very popular avenue right now you could say, to get the money, more clean. Not that again, I'm not saying the money should come from illegal activity or tax evasion. This is legit money that you've earned and you've paid your taxes on, right? But you can actually, because crypto is still a little bit of a dirty word, but it's changing. Everything is changing now, and it's in the coming years, it's going to be a lot easier to cash out. It's going to be a lot easier to exit. But here in Portugal, you can exit. They can buy property for you out of that account, or you can use a credit card. And also you can actually, if you become a resident, obviously I have an EU passport, I could live there a year. And once you've held your crypto for a year in Portugal, it's tax-free. You can cash out tax-free. So there's some benefits in other places around the world. So this is really some consideration depending on how much you have and what you want to do with it, right? So it could also just be for your retirement. And then there are some retirement accounts where it's actually very beneficial to hold crypto, and it's easy to manage with tax-wise. There's some like Fidelity, there's some major institutions that help you do that, which is very popular as well. But then you can also choose to, really go big, and this is really where probably this is my strategy still. Just having hit 50, I still have a little bit of a time out there. So really I might take some profits, hold some profits, but really my strategy is really more long-term. It's getting a goal of 20-30x from the current bull run, and then we know the next bull run, because we're in a 4-year cycle, right? So the macro is 8 to 10 years, but crypto is 4-year cycle. So that means we'll have another bull run in 28, most likely. This is usually the cycle, unless something happens to the cycle, but this is what we expect, to have another bull run 28. So let's say you are conservative, you get a 5 or 10x on 10K, 10x, you got 100K, and then you take that and you put it in. So now we're accumulating again during the bear market. After the correction, that's probably going to be in 26, 27 correction, and then 28. 26, 27 is when we would be accumulating, probably 27, and then we would go into a new bull market in 28. So you put the money in the accumulation phase, you buy the dip, you buy when it's cheap, and then you write the second one. And then if you get another 10x on your 100K, now you got $1 million, right? And so imagine this bull run, you put in 100K and then the next bull run, right? This is how I like to think. This is really when you can see a lot of accumulation, and you can have a lot of huge gains that you then carry over into the next bull cycle. And that's when you see everything you gain already is going to be multiplied yet again. And that's really what I recommend doing, because that's really where you can get huge gains. And that's where this investment, your crypto investment, can not only become your retirement fund, and you can leave money on top of that for your kids and grandkids, but this can also become something that gives you life-changing gains, life-changing money that can give you freedom to do what you want. You can even retire early. You can work on projects you want. You can do your hobbies. You can invest in crypto. You can become an investor in new projects. You can do what you want. This is really this is a generational opportunity to create massive gains from crypto, and that's why I invite you to do so. If you have any, this is the end, step 7 here. If you have any questions, if you want to work with us, free consultation through the website coinbands.co, and there's a link, free consultation. We can have a talk. You can talk to me. We can meet online or by phone, and we can talk about what are your investment plans, what is your risk, what are your investment goals, and then we can help you here at Coinbands to implement that, and we can help you to get to the gains that are possible, that are very real and very possible. So I invite you to look us up and contact us through the website. Thank you, and have a nice day.